Hi, welcome to WayWard Soul's Pickleball Journey. My name is Dean, and today Colette and I are heading to Kamloops, British Columbia. We're on our way to the head office of Manta Sports to talk with owner Mr. Brooke Siver about the history of Manta Sports, how he got into pickleball, and how pickleball paddles themselves are made. So, let's begin.
Squash racket built in the early 70s, probably 1970. And right next to it was the next year, 1971, when Yonex started inside of Yonex, a company called Manta. And so I decided I'd buy Manta. And it was a company that was in about 11 countries worldwide, but we're in 17 countries now. And primarily squash products. We dabbled in padel tennis or paddle tennis.
Yeah.
Okay. That we had about 400 pro shops across North America that sold our squash equipment. And they started phoning me one by one saying, do I sell pickleball equipment? Well, I phoned and said they'd take 1,000 paddles if I built them. And I thought, that's weird. So I decided I'd YouTube it. And when I YouTubed it, that's when I said no. We had prototypes shipped to us every couple of 3 weeks, and we'd go down to the park, and no one had even shown me how to play. We just go hit things with them. Mostly tennis balls to start with, because I didn't realize that a pickleball was a pickleball. I thought, we'll just try them with tennis balls, because that's what we use with these things.
So bust the handle right off.
So we break them as fast as we get them. And anyways, we finally found some pickleballs and started testing them.
Was pickleball
just had started in Kamloops. The first few prototypes I had, I didn't realize that there was pickleball in Kamloops. So I had to order some balls from a company in the States just to try our equipment out. And then one thing led to another, and the next thing you know, we went into production and started selling pickleball paddles. So we've been doing that in production mode since 2012. So this is our 5th solid year.
So, do you have any idea, I'm sure you probably do, of how many pickleball paddles you made that first year compared to this year?
Yeah, our first year we built and sold almost 2,000 paddles.
And how many do you have coming out this year? Approximately, do you have an idea?
Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Wow.
We have a good idea, but we don't want to tell anybody.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it just, we and probably every other company, this sport is growing so fast. I mean, when we first started, there was rumored to be 200,000 players. Now there's rumored to be almost 3 million players.
Yeah.
Again, when we first started, there was only a handful of manufacturers. There were, on the USAPA's paddle material specifications list under manufacturers, there was a dozen. I think there's close to 64 today, if not more. And everybody's in the same boat. As fast as you make them, you sell them. Yeah. So it really, as much as there's brands out there that you may see more of in a location, there isn't anybody that sits on their inventory because there's just so many people playing and such a lack. Most pickleball paddles today are made out of what are called sandwich panels. If you grab one, there's one up there. Sandwich. So that comes in a 4x8 sheet, right? So that's a half inch. We ordered a bunch of, sheets that were 17x7, which is the maximum size that the USAPA allows sanctioned paddles to be. So we ordered sheets and we started cutting them into different shapes and started test playing them and deciding if we liked that shape. Then we decided we didn't like that shape. And we eventually settled on the shape that we have. And once we've settled on the shape, we just make a pattern of it, and it goes to our factory that cuts them all out on CNC rubber machine.
Manta Sports has a wide range of pickleball paddles. They range from colors to different graphics, shapes, sizes, materials, and constructions. Now, we could go through all the differences for this video. We are going to look at the most popular construction and start to finish in that process. Now, the pickleball paddle industry is getting more and more competitive with more and more companies getting into the making of the paddles. For this reason, we have been asked to not reveal certain aspects of their manufacturing process. With that being said, There is still lots to cover.
We begin the process by ordering the sandwich board from a company in the United States. The sandwich board is a honeycomb core with a front and back face or skin, attached using a resin or epoxy. These sandwich boards are about the size of a sheet of plywood, 1/2 inch thick, 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. Majority of the paddles out there will use a honeycomb core. Just like the name would indicate, honeycomb is a 6-sided geometric pattern, just like you would find in a nest of honeybees. This design offers a strong compression ability while using the minimum of material to keep the weight down. It comes from the aerospace industry, which has been using this technology long before pickleball paddles came along. Manta Sports generally uses 3 such honeycomb cores: aluminum, polymer, and Nomex. The face or skin that Manta Sports use will either be fiberglass or graphite, depending on the paddle being made. After the resin or epoxy has cured, the sandwich boards are ready to be shipped to the next stop, the CNC shop.
CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control. Simply put, these are machines that a computer program controls, whether that be a lathe, grinder, cutting tools, etc. The templates for the pickleball paddles are arranged onto a 4x8 sandwich board. This ensures that there is a minimum waste of material and the maximum number of paddles are produced. These paddle cutouts are then boxed up and shipped out to Manta's head office for the finishing of the product. Once the paddle cutouts arrive here at the head office, the next step is the application of the graphics. This is a process that Manta has worked through and is a guarded secret. Part of the challenge is that fiberglass and graphite skins have a textured surface, presenting a challenge to applying the graphics. Once they are applied, a thin UV protected vinyl film is applied to the front and back of each paddle. This protects the graphics from fading and provides impact protection. Let's face it, one of the first things we look for in a paddle and get excited about is the cool design. The graphics are designed in-house and at Manta Sports. They also offer a customization program if you have your own design that you would like to use. That could be a picture of someone you love, favorite camping spot, or your company logo. Check out their website for details, as there are plenty of options and some restrictions. These custom paddles, I believe, are USAPA approved for tournaments. To keep that in mind and check it out. Now comes the protection. I had always just assumed that the edge guard was just there to protect the paddle from damage. You know when you are hitting a low ball because while you were in no man's land, your opponent hit it at your feet? After coming from the CNC shop, the face edge is exposed along with the rigid honeycomb structure. Apart from being unsightly, these edges are sharp. A plastic edge guard is glued into place. The edge guard covers the paddle part coming up the handle, which is our next topic. The pickleball paddle handle is comprised of 3 components. The compressed foam providing the thickness, shape, and size of the handle. This is very much like the foam used in the handles of tennis rackets and other sports equipment. The end cap protects the end of the paddle and helps prevent you from accidentally having the paddle slide out of your hand. And last but not least, the hand grip itself. Each paddle is wrapped by hand, and in doing so also gives each paddle its final visual inspection, ensuring consistent quality no matter which paddle you choose.
Well, that concludes our visit here to Kamloops with Mr. Brooke Siver, owner of Manta Sports. Now, unless you are ordering a custom paddle, you can't buy their paddles through the office or even through their website. It's part of Manta Sports' policy to not compete with their vendors. There's a number of online vendors if you wish to purchase their paddles. There's also a large number of stores, and there's probably a store close to you. So if you want to go in, pick up, hold, and see how they feel in your hand, you're more than welcome to do that. Manta Sports has a pro program which features some of the youngest players in the game today. If you have a passion for the sport and you really enjoy playing it, look them up, go to their website, check it out, and if you think it's something for you, give them a call or contact them through their webpage.
Correctly grip a paddle for left-handed players. If you're a right-handed player, you would hold your paddle in your left hand upside down and you would wrap it from left to right. If you're a left-handed player, you're going to hold the paddle in your right hand and you're going to wrap it from right to left. So this is the correct way to grip a paddle for a left-handed player. It literally takes about a minute to grip a paddle. You should change your grip whenever it gets smooth or covered in oil, which your hand gives off if you sweat a lot. Most top players will change their grip at least once a month or even more often.
What's the name of that grip? Is there a
This
grip
is
name?
called a Manta airflow grip. It's one of our most common grips for pickleball paddles. You'll see that it has holes in it, so when you sweat, the water will go in the holes and it won't affect the gripability of the paddle. And when you let the paddle dry, it'll air dry. The holes help air dry the paddle. So if you just hold that, I'll get you to hold that. The next step is you got to cut it off.
On an angle?
Yeah. Cut it off on an angle so that when you wrap it around, it's straight.
Perfect. Now that didn't take them very long.
And you finish it off with some 3M brand vinyl tape. A lot of people think it's electrical tape.
Yes, it looks like electrical tape, eh?
And the reason a lot of
Don't get
people
that.
think it looks like electrical tape is because if you buy it from Home Depot,
Yeah.
it is electrical tape.
And electrical tape will
Right.
get so messy.
And you notice I've cut on the edge of the paddle halfway through there. The reason for that is your thumb or your finger will never touch the edge and that'll never flip it up. Okay, so there's a left-handed grip.
Oh yeah, see.
Hi everybody, welcome to WayWard Souls Pickleball Journey.
No, we're not welcoming you. We're actually asking you to press that like button, press that share button, press that bell if you want to get future notifications of our videos.
But before you get to the bell, you have to hit the subscribe button.
Oh yeah, that's the most important part is the subscribe button. I can't say that word very well, but subscribe, please.